crying. Because I know my uncle's in a better place. And this is truly what he wanted. He wanted to be with God and his brothers. His last words to me were, Mija, it's time. It's time for you to go see your dad and your Uncle Rudy. I'm Ida. I'm one of his eldest nieces. My dad is his youngest brother, Rob. And I know he suffered a lot when my dad passed. Just like we suffer now with my uncle gone. Even though I know this is the best of my uncle with pain, he was suffering at this time. He had 95 good years, taught us all magic. Everybody knows about the matches, even my children. I remember one time, he lived with us when we were really young, and he used to say to me, Mija, you're gonna go somewhere. You're gonna do well. I can tell, you're the oldest and you're so mature. Probably like 10 or 11 years old. But he was always a great uncle, always, making us laugh. And again, we always had to have clean shoes. We went to Catholic school. So it's like, did you clean your shoes? And we said, we already shined them, Uncle, they're ready. We had to wear white shoes, so we had to shine them every night and polish them with a dry wash rag every morning. So, and he had that for all of us, keep care of yourselves, make sure that you make people laugh, make sure you're always happy. That's something we'll never forget. He's told all of us that. I did, at one time, when he came home from the hospital, I remember in the hospital, Bobby and I were sitting there, and I said, I think you have to run home, it's late. The girls had picked her up, and we said, we can't leave him alone, we're gonna sit here. We're gonna wait for Monica to come. We said, Monica, it's almost time for them to give him his medication. Are you coming? She said, oh, I have to get my job, I still gotta leave my husband. Don't worry, Uncle will still be there tomorrow. I go, no, they're gonna give medication, he's not gonna be there tomorrow, I don't think, so you need to probably come now. She goes, no, I'm gonna pray right now. God's gonna keep until tomorrow for me. You don't have to worry about this. And she said it so confident. And I told Bobby, there you go, there's Monica, always late. So sure enough, it was like, that time it was like 6:30. And at 7:30, we were like, well, at 8 o'clock, they're gonna give him medication, so we don't know what's gonna happen or how long it'll be. So at 7:30, I said to Bobby, something's not right. And he's looking at a board, and I'm like this way looking at my uncle, and all of a sudden, turns his head, opens his eyes, and said, Mija. And I looked at him, thought I was seeing things, obviously, because they'd taken all the medication off him, only had his oxygen. And I said, Bobby, you need to look at your dad. I said, women. He goes, hi, Mija. Like nothing was wrong. And I was like, I have to admit, I was a little freaked out. And then Bobby turns around, he goes, Dad. And he goes, hey, Mija. And he just starts talking to us like nothing was wrong. Well, he came home. No medication at that moment. He just had oxygen, so I told him they had to keep the oxygen on him. And we brought him home. That was in February of this year. And you can see, God kept him this long for us. So Bobby prayed all day long that his dad would wake up just enough that he could say how much he loved him. And that's exactly what happened. So it wasn't time then, but it's been time now. Even though I'm gonna miss him, I probably live the closest to him. I'll still come over and see Tia and Rachel and the girls. Because you're my last living uncle, and who I just love to death. I have a little poem here I'd like to read. I'm sorry, I swore I wasn't gonna cry, obviously that didn't work. Because I know this is what he wanted, so I didn't know why I'm crying. It was very brave of what my uncle did do. Like he had suffered enough, and he said to us not to cry. He was doing something he needed to do, and he wanted to go home at this point. Excuse me. For my uncle, I feel such a special closeness to you. I always have. I guess it's because from the beginning, you have been there for me, encouraging me, listening to my troubles, and cheering me on along the way. Now we're both getting older, much older. Excuse me. It seemed even more important to thank you and tell you how much you mean to me. I was fortunate enough until the moment he passed, I was able to tell how much I loved him. I love you dearly, and I feel so fortunate to have you in my life, have had you in my life. You will always be part of me, forever, since you're a Perez like me. Thank you.